Hi, my name is Lori Yo. I have Johnson and Jeff here again with me. The first round we talked about the basics of Excel. Today we're going to be using a more advanced version of using Excel, the VLOOKUP function. So today we're going to review the agenda that I have. We're going to do a basic review of what we did last week, a vocabulary review. I'm going to talk about the functions of what VLOOKUP is, the formula diagram of VLOOKUP. We're going to do a scenario sample of a football game, and then also talk about using the $sign to save time. Then we'll do a final objective and goal review, and then I'll also ask you if you have any questions, and then let's move on from here. So first of all, do you remember the slide that I showed you guys last week? Where we reviewed what a workbook is, what a worksheet is, the ribbons and the formulas. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm glad that this looks familiar, so we're going to do a little bit more advanced version of what we did last week. So let's talk about, what is a VLOOKUP function? So a VLOOKUP function, it combines sets of data using a mutual unique value in each set of data. So in my sample here, our common value that we're going to be using are the players. So like I said here, if you have the player names is our main data set, and this is on one worksheet, and we're trying to pull the data right here on the total points and rank. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 spreadsheets, and then to pull the data, we're going to pull it into one master spreadsheet. So when you have all the players' names on the same, we're able to pull all the data from worksheets 1, 2, and 3, and then do it into one master spreadsheet. So that is exactly what a VLOOKUP function. It'll help you save time in reporting by allowing an automatic update and preserving all the existing formatting. So when we're talking about functions in Excel, this is one of the functions that pop up for VLOOKUP. So we have a mutual data value, and this is what I was talking about, this is going to be our player's name. So that's the one lookup that we're going to use. The area of table where you want to pull the data. So for the whole section in that spreadsheet, you're going to tell Excel what value that you're looking for in that specific spreadsheet. The number of columns is just telling you how many columns is in that data range that you're looking at. The range lookup, so there's 2 options. There's a true value or a false value. So when you're inputting false, it just means that you want the exact match of what that specific column and cell has. So with true, it's a similar match, but I would say 90% or more, it's always using false because you're looking for the exact range option that you're looking for. So once you have everything all filled in, Excel will pop up the formula. So it's going to look something similar to this on the very bottom here. Do you guys see that? Looks very complicated, but once we go through the steps, it'll make a lot more sense.
Did you say it will pop up by itself, or do we have to input it seems like there's cell sizes, cell selection,
It will actually automatically input it up. So once you fill in all these 4 values here, Excel will pop up this formula for you automatically. So you don't have to memorize this.
Okay.
Okay? So let's take sample 1. We're going to do the football game that I talked about last week. So again, this is the pre-formatted football results for week 1. So I have all the data in here already. So what I want to look at is, I want to pull, so we have Alex, Ben, Cindy, Jim, and Joe. So these are our 4 players. So the 4 players I want to look is, okay, these are the total points that they have. This is all the rank. So what I'm interested is, I want to pull for week 1, their rank and then their total points. So do you see my screen on the right side?
Mm-hmm.
You see that I have week 1, week 2, and week 3. So let me show you what it looks like. So week 1, you'll see the points and rank for all the players. Week 2, and here's week 3. So instead of having to always constantly flip back and forth between all the spreadsheets to see who ranked what level per week, what we can do is taking all the weeks, we can put it into one sheet. So week 1, I can see, okay, who ranked what, who had the highest point. Week 2, week 3. Do you see the value in that? Being able to see, instead of flipping back and forth between all the spreadsheets, you can just see it on the master spreadsheet. So the first step is, let's go over here. So I'm going to, of course, the PowerPoint's on the left side, is to just give you like a version of it, and then we'll walk through the steps as well. So we're going to do week 1. So you want to put your cursor on B3. That's where Alex's name, first one. So we're looking at the rank. So once you're in here, you'll click that insert function right up top. So once you click up, you see this box that popped up for you. So this is kind of what we're looking up on the left side on how we're going to input all the data value in. So make sure the VLOOKUP option is selected. Then you'll click OK. Does this box look familiar from my PowerPoint?
Yes. Yep.
So again, the look via value, what we're finding is, I want to know A3, Alex. So I'm just going to click his name, and you see Excel smart enough, it'll automatically put what cell and column that is, A3. So next, we're going to do the table array. So this is talking about what is the data range that you want to look for. So I'm going to come down here. We're talking about week 1. You'll see week 1 here, and then I named the tab here week 1. So we click week 1 here. So Alex, all this data here, so what I'm telling Excel to do is find all the data range from here, and then we want to find this rank, okay? So I'm going to highlight from Alex's name all the way to the rank, the beginning to the very last. Do you guys see that? Mm-hmm. And then let go. So look how Excel is really smart. It automatically tells you week 1, week 1 from A3 to T3. So here's A3 all the way to T3 right here. So what does column index mean? It just tells you what number it takes you to rank. So let's count this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it tells you there's 20 columns, and that's where rank is. So in the column index number, you'll put 20, because that's the number of columns there is. And then, Johnson, can you tell me the range lookup? Would that be true or false?
False.
Correct, because we're looking for the actual number.
Exact number.
Exact number, that is right. So all I need to do is type in false. Okay, then
does it need to be capital?
No, but I have everything on cap lock. It's a little easier because Excel will actually automatically turn these into all caps anyways. Okay. So once we click OK, rank 5. Let's take a look to see if that is correct. So week 1, Alex, what rank is he?
5.
Rank 5. So can you see how easy that is? Instead of me going back, it tells you what it is. So let's try this again. So Johnson, can you tell me what's the first step I do from here?
Function.
Correct.
VLOOKUP.
Yep, and then we'll click OK. And then do you remember what the lookup value is? Who?
The name.
The name. So we just need to click Alex. And then table array, week 1. And then again, we're going to highlight all here, the whole amount. And then the column index. So do you remember what I said about counting the numbers?
Yes.
So the number of points Let's see which column number that is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so points is number 18. So in the column index number, we're going to put 18. And then what's the range lookup, Johnson or Jeff? Would you enter true or false here?
False.
False. Because again, we want the actual number. Enter. So look, 100 points. Let's make sure if Excel did this correct. He had 100 points. So again, Johnson, you asked earlier, where the formula, who types in the formula? So if we click here, you see how Excel automatically already put it in. So that makes it really, really easy to do. You don't have to keep redoing, you don't have to memorize this formula key.
So I guess my question is, why don't you just flip to week 1 and then input that value in there?
Right now it's easy because you're thinking, oh, but there's only 3 weeks, you go back and forth. Let's say the football season is 17 weeks. Imagine flipping through 17 weeks of data just to find out, oh, okay, so Alex did what in week 1? Alex did what in week 15? Wouldn't it be nice to just have everything on a master spreadsheet to know who the top winners are per week in one sheet instead of going back and forth?
So from from lesson 1 that you taught us, does that have to do with, I guess, dragging the, I guess, where copy and paste that formula?
Yes, we'll talk about copying and pasting a formula. And so instead of having to redo that formula key each time, we can do it easier way. So I'm going to do week 2 and week 3. So let me show you a sample of this. So for week 2, I'm going to just do this really quick. Function key here. Make sure the VLOOKUP is selected. Lookup value is, again, we're going to look at Alex. Table array. Make sure you now select week 2 for the tab. So look, from week 1, it talks about week 2 because that's the tab I selected on. And again, we're going to highlight the whole entire section for Alex. And then let's count the number of columns to rank. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is also 20. 20, and then again, false. So next we're going to do is, let me teach you, so instead of having to go to every single column, are you going to ask, like, how do I copy and paste? So again, everyone's on this playing the same exact thing every single week. So instead of having to redo the functions and everything, there is an easier way on how to copy and paste the function. So this is what we were talking about, using the $sign to make it even easier. So when you add a $sign to your formula, so if you take it here at the PowerPoint, as shown below, it lets Excel know that the mutual data value cell and cell in the area of the table for the lookup are variable. So if you complete one line of formula, you can also copy and paste to all the other players in the same area. So this makes the formula kind of like a smarter formula, and it will correct even if your data jumps out within the table. So let's take a look here. So for Alex, you see there's no, Alex is going to be the player names are all the constant things that we're going to look at. So if we do A3 right here, in front of the A3, we're going to put a $sign. That just tells you that for the first column, these are our lockdowns. So we're going to push enter. Again, it doesn't change anything here, but if you click this corner here, you can drag and drop. Did that make it really easy? So instead of having to do this, you can just automatically change, copy and paste everything down. So Jeff, can you tell me in points where I would put the $sign? What is the constant here?
Hey Johnson, I think can you help me out here?
I think what was it in front of A3?
Yes, because the players are constant, correct?
Oh.
So look, $ here, enter. So let's drag and drop. Do you see how easy that is? So all this function here pulls the data from all the data on week 1. So all the points listed here, all the rank listed here, is now showing on the main spreadsheet here. So let's do this again. So again, this is the function that we pulled up from the function right here. So we're gonna do the $ in front of the A3 to lock it down, and then copy and paste. So each week you'll see the different ranks. So Johnson, would you like to try this out on my computer?
Sure.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Okay. So insert function.
Yep,
VLOOKUP.
correct.
Lookup value x.
Yes.
For range.
We're gonna do week 2, correct.
Do I drag all the way across, right?
Right, so all the way. And then from there, column index.
I believe it's 18
So 18,
and false.
great. And then let's say we want to drag and drop. Where would you put the $?
In front of the cell A3.
That's right. And then
And drag. Drop.
and drop. Perfect. And then Jeff, I'm gonna have you do week number 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's correct. And then that's right. The VLOOKUP is already highlighted. Okay, so Jeff, I'm gonna have you drag and drop again. Do you know where to put the $? Go ahead and put the $ in where it should be.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll correct, drag and drop. So go ahead and do it for points.
Okay.
Great.
Does that look right?
Yep, it's right. So look how easy that is. Now, again, Johnson, your earlier question, what you were saying is, how come we just don't flip to the spreadsheet? Imagine if I asked you, Jim, what did Jim get on week 3? Then you'll have to flip to week 3. And then I say, how about Cindy on week 2? Then you have to flip to spreadsheet 2. But if you have a master spreadsheet, wouldn't you be able to tell me like, okay, for week 1, Joe was number 1. Week 2, Ben was number 1. week 3, Cindy was number 1. So look how easy that is to be able to have everything on just the first spreadsheet, the master spreadsheet that you will like. So after doing all this activity, now you know how to navigate between the worksheets. So the worksheets again down here, ranking week 1, week 2, week 3. This is navigating through the worksheets. You know how to enter a VLOOKUP option. Again, you can use the insert function, the VLOOKUP. So now you know how to do that. You know how to use VLOOKUP to find values between the worksheets to the next. And now you also understand using the $sign to save time, to be able to copy and paste to the other fields. So for Johnson, what could you use VLOOKUP for?
I guess if I was to create, a game like this too, I could do something like this.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good idea. And then, you're going to be the master bookkeeper for the thing. So when football season comes up, you can say, like, I'll take over on calculating everyone's points and ranking. Mm-hmm. And Jeff, how about you? What could you see you using VLOOKUP for?
Oh, I can see that I use this to track my investment balances.
Right. So I think, for you, I think it's definitely, if you're tracking your month by month, so it's when you're having all your months by the spreadsheet, you now can create a master one where you can see each month very clearly which gains and losses that you've taken. Hopefully it's all gains, of course. So do you guys have any questions for me while I wrap this up?
No.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.